Namaste, namaste, and welcome to our Monday midday chair yoga session. And today we're just going to do a lovely limber through the body, and we're going to focus a little bit on the neck and shoulders to begin with. So I've got my belt here, nice and handy. You could equally use a scarf or a tea towel, anything that gives you a little bit of length. So to begin with, sitting on your seat right towards the front of your seat so you can sit tall. Find that lift through the center of the body, gently pressing the feet towards the floor, and perhaps a touch of engagement across the belly muscles, and then just closing your eyes or gazing gently downward. Take this moment to step away from everything else that's going on around you, and just find yourself in your yoga space, devoting the next 60 minutes to your movement, your own experience, your sense of ease, hopefully letting go of some of the tensions that we're holding, some of the burdens that we carry, finding space and calm and quiet. As you make that mental step away from everything else, notice if you can allow the forehead to soften, the face, the jaw, the shoulders, the chest. Feel how your body feels in this moment. Make note of any areas that perhaps need a little extra kindness and compassion during our practice. Noticing at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, spacious, and at ease. Take your awareness to your breath and just noticing the breath that you're breathing at this time, your spontaneous breath. Observe the rate and the rhythm and the sensation of your breath. When you're ready, you can gently begin to develop a deeper breath. Keeping the breath soft and without strain. Breathing deeply into the sides of the body, the back, the chest. Breathing out slowly but deeply, engaging across your navel to breathe out completely. Breathing a deeper breath into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Breathing out slow and deep, engaging across the navel to breathe out completely. Taking 3 more of these deep, deep breaths. Still without strain, but with ease across the shoulders, the face. At the end of your next exhalation, just simply allowing your breath to fall into its natural rhythm, falling into quietness. We're going to draw the spine upright and then taking the chin only towards the chest. And just feel your way to a point where the neck feels comfortable, the shoulders are relaxed, a gentle smile on your face. And when you're ready, raising your head, opening your eyes, giving yourself a broader smile if it comes to mind, and just rolling your shoulders a few times. Great stuff. So let's roll in the opposite direction as well. And I'm going to take off my jumper. Sorry, I had forgotten I still had it on from the previous class. So it's ready for relaxation and extra layers. But there we are, a bit freer of movement. So today we're just going to begin at the top of the body and work our way down. So this could all be done standing up if you prefer, but as we're seated already, we'll do it sitting down. So just beginning with finding a position of the head where the head feels like it's over the body. And you'll notice if you allow your chin to come forward and your head to come forward, the switching on of the muscles in the upper back, maybe even a touch of strain across those muscles. And if you allow your head to come too far back, you'll feel a similar sense of the muscles of the front of the body having to do something they're not really designed to do all of the time. So of course those muscles are designed to support head and neck movements, but what we want to do is to find a soft place in the middle where the head is supported and the muscles of the upper back, neck and shoulders can be as passive as they need to be. And then from here, we're just gently going to take the right ear towards the right shoulder and return the head to that upright position every time, and left ear to left shoulder. So we're just doing a little bit of side-to-side action. And at the same time, trying to keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. And you might find it easier if you just relax your hands down to your sides to keep the shoulders with that sense of down. The next time your right ear comes towards your right shoulder, remember, it doesn't matter how close to the shoulder it gets. It's about the sensation on the left side of this body. So hopefully you can find a place that feels good to open up the left side of the neck and across the shoulder. And we can press the left palm towards the floor to get even more sense of length there. And then just holding as you breathe, taking a moment here. Once we've held here for just a few moments, we can gently lift the chin and lower the chin. We don't need to do much. Here we're just making a small movement that takes that sensation of length from just the side of the neck around to the front and the back of the body as well. Maybe into the jaw, maybe into the ear. Let's do one more here. And then relaxing your left arm, slowly bring your head back to the center. And in the middle, we're just rolling the shoulders. Maybe you're doing a little gentle lift and lower of the chin, going in both directions. And then when you're ready, finding your upright position, finding that centered point of the head over the body, and taking the left ear towards the left shoulder. First, just begin with that feeling of finding the sensation down the right side of the body. Maybe allow your right arm to be heavy towards the floor. If you want to increase the sense of length, you can press the right palm to the floor. And just breathing into this, finding that experience of length. Trying to do it in a way that doesn't create tension in other parts of the body. And then if you like to, you can add a gentle lift and lower. It doesn't need to be big movement, just so you feel the sensation moving to other parts of the neck and shoulders, chest and back, jaw and ear. Let's do one more here. And then we're going to relax the right arm and slowly bring the head back to the center. And again, just rolling the shoulders, maybe gently lifting and lowering the chin in the center, rolling in both directions. So again, sitting tall and again, finding that length in the neck. We're just going to take our awareness away from the neck for the moment and move with our arms so we find some more space across the chest and shoulders. So let's bring the palms together in front of the body, chin to chest, rounding through the spine, scooping the belly in, and then taking the arms wide as we sit tall, taking the arms behind the body, turning the palms upwards towards the ceiling if possible. Rounding through the spine as you tuck the chin to the chest, scoop the belly in, reach your fingertips as far away as possible, and then sitting tall, opening the chest, maybe turning the palms upwards, maybe lifting the chin. One more, rounding through the spine, chin to chest, and then sitting tall, opening the chest, opening the palms to the ceiling. And then we're just gently going to float the arms down to the side and do a little lift and lower of the shoulders. You do either side at the same, or do both at the same time, doesn't matter, whichever of these you prefer. And then coming to center again, coming to that lifted position of the head, we're going to turn the head from side to side. So gently turning towards the right, it doesn't matter how far you go, and turning back to center, and turning to the left, and turning to center. Let's go a few times to each side, trying to keep that upright, lifted position of the head. And maybe exploring if there's a little bit more room to move into, that's okay. If there isn't, that's okay too. Don't push to the point of pain or strain. From the center this time, turning to look over the right shoulder or in that general direction. And then here, we can begin to just soften the left shoulder and arm, and then draw the left elbow behind the body. So you're actively opening across the front of the left side of the chest, left arm behind the body, still looking to the right, and just holding as you breathe. If you feel comfortable, you can reach the hand behind you to hold onto your chair back, if that feels better to anchor to a point, or you can simply use your elbow moving backwards, use the muscles of the upper back instead. Whichever you prefer. Take one more deep breath in and out. Then we're relaxing that left arm, bringing the head back to center, making some nice dancing shoulder wiggles. Maybe moving the head if it feels comfortable. And then finding center, finding that lift, turning to look over the left shoulder, or the opposite shoulder, left shoulder. And then here, first beginning with a nice heavy right arm, seeing if you can feel that sense of space. If you need more, drawing the right elbow back, drawing the shoulder back, opening that right side of the chest. So here, this might be enough, or if you prefer, you can anchor yourself to your chair back. You can use that to draw your right shoulder further back, or just keep the elbow bent, relax the hand, but use the muscles of the upper back to make this openness of the right side of the chest. Holding as you breathe. Let's do one more deep breath in and out. Relaxing the right side, drawing the head back to the center. Do a little bit of wiggling with the shoulders, maybe a little bit of movement with the head, whatever helps you to release. And we're going to come back to that movement across the upper back and chest. So this time we're taking the arms wide, but rolling the palms backwards, so the backs of the hands are forwards. As we round through the spine, we're bringing the chin to the chest and the backs of the hands together and reaching the fingers forward. Scoop the belly in, and then from here, we're sitting tall but drawing the elbows back across the chest, and then looking up as we open the palms to the ceiling, arms nice and long. Round through the spine, backs of the hands coming towards each other in front of the body, stretch them away, and then sitting tall, elbows back to open the chest, lifting the chest, turning the palms up to the ceiling. Rounding one more time through the spine, chin to chest, reach the fingertips away, backs of the hands together, scoop the belly in, and then elbows back, sitting tall, lifting your chin, opening your palms. And then relaxing the arms down to the sides, just giving your shoulders a little wiggle. backwards and forwards. And hopefully that's beginning to feel a little bit more open across the shoulders. And we're just going to take the head up and down. So first begin by lifting your chin a touch. And then as you come through center, make sure the back of the neck is lengthened and chin can come to chest. And then we're coming up again, making sure the back of the neck is lengthened, lifting the chin towards the ceiling, keeping the mouth shut if you can. Chin towards the chest through that center neutral spine spot. And then one more time coming all the way up. We're going to practice now with a little bit of holding. So as you roll the chin towards the chest, the rest of the back is nice and upright, shoulders nice and relaxed. You can relax your hands and arms if you like. We're not pressing here or forcing the chin down. We create a little smile on the face. And then bringing the head back to center, taking the bottom teeth over the top teeth, and then lifting the chin up, stretching the whole of the front of the neck, the throat, into the top of the chest. Let's roll all the way down. Release your jaw as your chin comes to your chest, so your teeth are in their normal places. Little gentle smile. And then as you roll up through that neutral spot, bottom teeth over top teeth, lifting the chin towards the ceiling, holding and breathing, and then releasing back to center, releasing the jaw one more time all the way down. A little soft smile, and in your own time come back just to a neutral upright position. And again, rolling in the shoulders. Very good. We're going to take the arms nice and wide, wrap the right arm over the left arm, and hug our shoulders. So hug the opposite shoulder as much as possible, wrapping the hands around the sides of the body if you're able to, and letting the arms rest onto the chest. And here we're going to move the whole of the chest. We're lifting the chest up and then rounding through the upper back. So we're creating a little bit of length across the upper back as we then lift and lower. And then coming back to neutral, we're going to reach the arms nice and wide. Do the same thing, left arm over right arm. First, reaching the hands around the body or to the shoulders if possible, letting the arms be heavy on the body, and then a lift and lower. Nice lift of the chest and rounding through the upper back. And the head just moves as part of the rest of the spine moving. Let's do one more. Before coming back to center, relaxing the arms wide, just letting the arms come down, wriggling the arms as much as feels comfortable to let go of some tension. We're going to take our belts and pop them over the right shoulder so that we can reach them behind the body as well. Excuse me, please excuse me. So I'm just going to shift a little bit sideways so you can perhaps see a little bit better. So behind the body, I'm going to take my left arm behind the body and I want to reach for the belt. And then I'm going to use my right arm to pull that left hand as high up the back as feels comfortable. And then just see if you can maybe use your knees to firm your belt in that position. So you're holding your belt in that position. The left shoulder is back and open. And then we're going to lift the right arm up, take the elbows close to the side of the head as possible, and then reach for the belt behind you. And then hopefully your left hand will be as high up as possible, and your right hand will be as low down the belt as possible without strain. And we're just rolling the shoulder blades towards each other to open the chest, keeping the top elbow lifted and keeping the bottom elbow moving towards the body. And we're taking a few deep breaths here. This is called Wk8, cow's face pose. So we're just settling into the posture, allowing a little bit of stretching to happen. And here you might like to just gently turn your head. We're not looking for a big, big movement, or maybe nod and lift the chin. Maybe do a gentle side to side if it feels good. When you're ready to release, we release the top hand first. We're reaching up and then down the side of the body. And with the bottom hand, we release the belt and then slide the hands down the back and around the hip, touching the body all of the way so that we release slowly out on that side. And that is my side that's much, much stiffer. I've got an old shoulder injury, which means the body doesn't open quite so well on that side. But we're going to explore the difference between this side and the opposite side of the body. So shifting your belt to the other side, giving your shoulders a little wriggle, your arms a little stretch, maybe a little movement with the hands if you've been gripping the belt hard, just opening and closing the fingers. Oh, excuse me. And then we're going to start by taking the right hand behind the body and holding your belt as high up the belt as feels comfortable, and using the left arm to pull that arm a little bit higher if you can, without strain, and then gripping the belt between your knees so that you, or under your foot if you are, so that you keep that shoulder in place. Then we're reaching the left arm up, taking the elbows close to the body as possible, close to the head as possible, before reaching the hands towards each other. And of course, you can let your knees let go of the belt. And here on this side, I can get my hands together, but that's not the object. But if you get to that stage and you want to clasp the hands instead of the belt, please do so. We're trying to keep that top arm lifting up and in, and that bottom elbow pointing down and in as well. Taking a few deep breaths, maybe exploring a little bit of movement with the head, making sure the neck is not rigid in this position. And then when you're ready to release, and you might wish to hold for a little bit longer if you're doing this practice on the video at a later date, just bear in mind you might wish to hold for a little bit longer, but releasing the hands from each other, from the belt, reaching the top arm up and then letting it come down to your side, and with the bottom arm letting it come down the back of the body and around the side of the body, just easing out of that position so that you end up with a delicious feeling of release rather than a feeling of strain. Very good. And we can take our belts. I think we won't use them for anything else. So just popping them to one side, but you never know, they'll be handy if we need them. We can roll the shoulders a few times in each direction. Oh, and hopefully that feels really good. And we're going to come up to standing. So coming onto your feet, I'm just popping my bits and pieces to one side. We'll do a little bit of cat and pressment and movement. And before we come to do some twisting, which will ease out any tension from the neck and shoulders. So feet nice and wide, a little soft in the knees, and just spend a moment moving your weight around your feet, forwards and backwards, side to side, so that you feel yourself really connecting into the feet, finding your grounding. When you're ready, a little few shrugs of the shoulders, again to ground the fingertips towards the floor, and then twisting from side to side. Scooping the belly muscles a little bit inwards and upwards, just to support your movement. And you might begin with quite a loose twist here, trying to find that looseness in the shoulders and elbows and fingers. Maybe feeling support from the legs, the buttocks, the belly muscles. And when you're ready, you can keep your hips a little bit more still and try to keep that sense of looseness, but from the waist upwards. And the hips might move a little bit, that's okay. Allow your head to move with your movement. Try not to resist with the neck unless you need to for dizziness. Allow the hands to wrap the body and tap the body wherever they fall. And then when you're ready, go back to that more loose movement where the hips are moving a bit more. Perhaps it's slightly slower. Feels like a little bit of I want to call it centrifugal force, but I'm not sure that's what it is. So as you twist, the arms sort of float away from the body, but the heaviness of the arms provides a little traction across the shoulders, the upper back, and the chest. And when you're ready, you can pivot on your toes, allowing your hips to become more involved in the movement. Still with that lift across the belly muscles, but just exploring what feels good elsewhere. And you can add a soft bend in the knees if you'd like to. Little bend, twist, bend, twist. Bounce and twist. Touching the opposite shoulder in front of you, the opposite hip behind, if you like somewhere for your hands to end up. Purposeful. And then when you're ready, you can let your bounce go, simply pivot for a moment, and then bring your feet to steadiness and sway back to center a little, losing your momentum a little at a time. When you come back to the center, give yourself a really nice roll of the shoulders. Let's do that a couple of times. Big roll of the shoulders. One more. Just making sure that feels good in the body, which is great. And then we're going to take our awareness down to our hips and do a little few hip rotations. So your hands can be resting on your hips or just resting by your side or resting out to the side, whatever suits you. Soft in the knees. We'll begin with a bit of tucking forwards and backwards with the pelvis. So tucking under, tucking back, just feeling that range of movement. Nice gentle lift with the belly muscles. And then in the center, we're just going to swing the hips a little bit from side to side. We don't want to swing the whole body, just the hips. Very nice. And then we'll join those two together, making hip rolls. So rolling the hips in one direction, again, trying to allow the rest of the body to be quite passive as we roll the hips. And we'll go the opposite way as well. Little lift across the belly muscles. Good job. And then we're going to come back to the center and just shake out the legs, 1 and 2, shake out the arms, 1 and 2, and then we're doing the whole thing again, but this time allowing the body to move more. So it was very passive before, but this time as we tip the pelvis backwards and forwards, we're going to allow the whole body to move as well. So we want to be nice and firm in the buttocks, particularly in this forward position, nice and firm in the belly in both positions. A little bit of forwards and backwards, and then in the center, a little bit of side to side, allowing the upper body to move as much as feels comfortable, not forcing, and then coming back to center and doing hip rotations, but allowing the rest of the body to join in as well. Very nice. And again, you can do this with your arms much more relaxed if it's better for your shoulders. And we're going the opposite way as well. Thinking about a little bit of support from the buttocks and the belly. Very good. We'll do one more. Coming to standing upright, again, giving the legs and arms a little shake out. Awesome stuff. So hopefully you're beginning to feel quite loosened off, fingers crossed. And this next practice we can do with a chair. Absolutely, you can do it with a chair, but if you've got access to a wall, then you might find it a little bit more effective with a wall. So I'm going to show you the initial thing that we can do with a chair, and then we can do it with the wall, a slightly advancing practice. So what we're going to do is stand at the back of our chairs, and we want to stand relatively close to the chair to begin with. We can explore what distance works for us. And we're going to turn to the left. But we're going to put our hands on the chair and keep the hands where they are. And we're going to allow the hips to turn to the left. And we're going to draw the right shoulder back and then look with the head towards the chair. So the head is looking towards the right shoulder-ish. If it feels uncomfortable there, you can come a little bit further out until you find your comfortable zone. And we're going to do the head in both directions. So we're holding onto the chair, the feet go as far around to the left as feels comfortable. The right shoulder blade wants to draw towards the back. We're lifting in the belly, maybe tucking the right elbow in, the shoulders nice and relaxed. Looking as far to the right as feels comfortable for a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we're going to look slowly around to a neutral spot and then around to the left. Slowly. And then here, if it's comfortable, you can lift your chin a little. You don't have to. That's completely optional. Deep breath in and out. And then we're releasing the head back to neutral. And we're going to walk the feet back around to the chair. And as we unwind, just relaxing the arms down to the side, giving a wiggle of anything that feels like it needs a wiggle. And then we can do the whole thing to the other side. I'm just going to move my chair because it's easier. But you can just do it where you are, going the other way. So hands are on the chair. We're quite close to the chair because if we do it with long arms, it becomes a bit of a pull on the shoulders. So quite close to the chair, we're going to move our feet round to the right this time. And as we move around to the right, we want to ease the chest and shoulders a little bit to the left. So we want to tuck the left elbow in, draw the left shoulder blade towards the spine, keep the shoulders nice and relaxed here. And then explore looking a little bit further around to the left with the chin or the head, as the case may be. Gentle lift in the belly muscles. Taking a deep breath in and out here. And then really slowly turning your head, keeping the shoulders where they are, turning the head maybe through neutral. Maybe it goes a little bit further to the left, to the right even. So wherever the head gets to, you can be perfectly happy just still, but if you want to, you can lift your chin. And then in this position, just taking 2 deep breaths. It won't be super deep because we're twisted. Then head back to a more neutral spot and gently unwinding the spine as we walk our feet back round towards our seat, relaxing the arms, wiggling anything that needs wiggling. And hopefully you'll feel that release all across the upper back particularly, but you might feel it into the sides of the body and the hips and everything. Fantastic stuff. So for this next practice, we can come to the wall, or we can do exactly the same thing again on both sides. We might leave the head out of this one. So I just want to do a couple of shoulder rolls, a couple of chin to chest as the shoulders come forward, chin up as the shoulders go back, a couple of shoulder rolls, finding a little bit of release through the back of the body, and then using a patch of wall if you've got it. What we're going to do is put the left hand on the wall, or the whatever hand is closest to the wall is fine. We're going to step quite close to the wall, but we want to have plenty of space for our arm to be there without lifting the shoulder or moving the upper body in any way. And so leaving our hand is about shoulder or chest height. We're going to again walk the feet away. So we're twisting around the chest and shoulders, dropping the left shoulder down, keeping the chest and shoulders nice and open. We can reach the right arm out to the side or leave it down by our side as you choose. And here, just explore where is comfortable for your head. So it might be that you prefer to look back towards the wall a little bit or back over that shoulder, be more centered, be more turned. Where does it feel most useful for you? A little lift across the belly muscles, really feeling the ease of that left shoulder down. So we're not lifting the shoulder up. Good job. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And then just gently unwinding yourself back towards the wall. And as you come towards the wall, let your left arm come down. Give yourself a little wiggle. Move anything that needs moving. If you feel like this is just one twist too far in your day, you totally don't have to do it. And then coming back to the wall to place your right hand on the wall. And gently turn yourself away from the wall, that hand at around about chest or shoulder height. You can always play with the height of your hand if you feel it will adjust your shoulders. We're dropping the right shoulder down, keeping the right side of the chest open, just walking to a point that feels comfortable. Maybe you want to use your left arm to open up, maybe it's better relaxed. And then exploring with your head where is comfortable. It might be back towards the wall, it might be somewhere more neutral, or even turn towards the left shoulder. Shoulders nice and relaxed, belly just a touch active. Maybe a little active in the legs. You might need to hold on to that core stability. And then deep breaths. Whenever you're ready, just begin to unwind yourself back towards the wall, nice and slowly, releasing out, releasing your right arm down, making any movements that feel good across the shoulders. So we're going to do a practice I don't think we've done for many, many years, or some years anyway, in this class. So we're going to soften the knees, just bend forwards a little bit. We want to have a sense of maybe almost sticking the tailbone out just a touch, just enough to support, lifting in the belly. We're relaxing the arms down, and we're just going to imagine we're a little ragdoll just with the upper arms. So we're just wiggling the arms around, nice and loosey-goosey. And if it helps, you can move a little bit more through your back if that doesn't feel uncomfortable, but just really loosey. And then you can go a bit more up and down, as if you were flinging your hands towards the floor a touch. And then when you're ready, just rounding through your back. So coming to stillness in the center, tucking your tailbone under, rounding yourself back up to an upright position. And then from here, we'll take a cleansing breath. So breathing in, taking the arms around the body and up, looking maybe slightly forward or slightly up, breathing out, drawing the palms down to the center of the chest. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in around the body and up. Breathing out, drawing the palms down through center to your chest. One last time, breathing in. Maybe lifting your chin as you breathe in, breathing out. The palms will stay at the center of the chest. Chest is lifted, chin to chest. Find that gentle sense of length, a small smile, and when you're ready, raising your head, releasing your hands, opening your eyes if they've been closed, and shaking out anything that needs a little shake out. Very good. So hopefully you've enjoyed this bit of practice that's been all about the upper body. We're going to do a downward facing dog and then come to our seats to maybe do a little goddess pose as well. So coming to your chair, placing the hands on the chair or the wall, could be walking your feet away, taking the feet relatively wide, and then softening the knees so you can lengthen your tailbone backwards and find length through the whole of the upper body from the fingertips all the way to the tail. A little lift in the belly, and you can sway your hips from side to side if that feels good. You might prefer to be much more centered. You might prefer to move with your head, looking under one arm and then the other, as you choose. If you want a moment of stillness in the center, you can play with your breath here, just a gentle breath. When you're ready to come out, a little soft in the knees, press into your hands as you walk forward to stand tall. Hopefully that feels really good in the body as well. And before we come back to sitting, just one last practice, which we can either do with the belts or without. So we're going to take the arms behind the body. So you can hold onto your belt behind the body and roll your shoulder blades towards each other, and then play with the position of turning the palms inwards or outwards, or not inwards or outwards, inwards or upwards. Or you can interlace your fingers behind your back. So if interlacing your fingers feels quite comfortable and you're quite able, then this is more effective but of course it's only effective if it feels comfortable. We're going to roll the shoulder blades, towards each other. And then with soft bent elbows, try and bring the elbows towards each other as well. And then here, with the elbows bent, we're keeping the chest open. So we don't want to force the head down. We want to keep the head lifted, keeping the chest open, and maybe just do a little gentle sway of the hands from side to side. Open up the chest, open up the front of the body. And then when you want to, coming back to center, you can begin to extend your elbows if you want to. You don't have to. And if that feels good, you can lift the arms away from the body. And we're aiming in the direction of drawing the palms towards each other. But of course, everybody's at a different stage, so don't worry if that doesn't come naturally. Hands either on a belt or clasped together, again with the arms lifted slightly away from the body, perhaps a gentle turn of the body from side to side, keeping the chin a little bit lifted. And then in the center, one last lengthen of the arms down to lift the chest and release back to center. Relax the shoulders, relax the arms, relax them away from the belt if you're using a belt, and just feel the lightness in the arms after that practice. There's a real sense of they're almost drifting off on their own, like they're made of helium. And then just give yourself a little ring. So we're going to come back to sitting on our seats for one final practice before relaxation, but it might be useful to have your layers close by, excuse me, so that you've got them to put on. And I am going to use a couple of blocks here because I find that actually these chairs are a little bit tall for me. I'm going to put my feet on blocks. Very good. So we're going to take our feet nice and wide apart. And if you can, if it feels comfortable, turning your toes to point outwards a little bit. You can be seated on your seat, actually on the corner of your seat, if you feel that that's more comfortable, because you get a little bit more space and freedom underneath the thighs. Maybe it's better to be seated in the center, doesn't matter. I've got knobbly bits at the corners, so this is more comfortable for me. So we've got our feet pointing outwards if possible. We're going to sit really tall, press the feet down into the mat, into the blocks if you've got them, lifting in the belly, and then we're going to take our arms in front of the body and open the arms into this sort of cactus arms position. So elbows bent, arms around about shoulder height, but elbows bent, palms can face forwards if it feels comfortable, face towards each other, whatever works for you. And you can do a little turning inwards and outwards while you're here, just to explore where it feels like the neutral spot for your hands to rest. And then we're going to reach the arms up as we look up, and then draw them back down into this cactus arms position. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other, keep the chest open. So we're breathing in as we reach the arms up and look up, breathing out as we draw the elbows down and shoulder blades towards each other. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. From here, we're taking the left forearm down to the left leg and reaching the right arm up and over, lifted in the belly, just reaching into that side bend. And then we're going to come back to this goddess pose in the center, and then do the same thing to the other side. Right forearm down, reaching the left arm up and over, nice and firm in the belly, and then coming back to the center. You need to be firm in the belly all of the time, going side to side, reaching and recoiling, reaching into that side bend to the right and recoiling. This time as we go to the left, we're going to reach into that side bend, and then from here, press into the left forearm and open the chest towards the ceiling, and then come back to this more neutral side bend. Press into the forearm, reach the chest up towards the ceiling, and recoil. One more time, nice and firm in the belly, pressing into the forearm. Imagine you're pressing your knees apart as well, and recoiling. As we recoil, we're going to draw the right arm down in front of the body and take the right hand to the right knee, left hand to the left knee, roll the shoulder blades towards each other and sway the chest from side to side. Very good. You can look forward if it feels comfortable, look down if you prefer. You can slide your hands down to your ankles if you want to come into a deeper forward bend. When we're ready, hands to the tops of the knees, pressing into the hands, lift the chest forward, come upright, and then find your cactus arms again. So from our upright position, nice and firm in the belly, taking the right hand to the right knee, reaching the left arm over, and we're just pressing into the right forearm, rolling the left shoulder backwards to open the chest, and recoiling back to center. Pressing into the right forearm to open the chest, open the knees, and recoiling back to center. Last time, as we roll back nice and firm in the belly, as we come forward, we're going to keep coming forward. So we reach the left arm across the body and we reach for the knees. Pressing into the knees, roll the shoulder blades towards each other, little sway of the chest from side to side, little sort of snaking feeling movement. And then if you wish to, you can slide your hands down towards your ankles, falling a little bit forward or rounding a little bit forward. And then here, if you've got your feet turned out, you can turn your feet in so that they're more parallel. You can come off blocks if you're on blocks. If you want to stay on blocks, that's all good. And just let the back of the neck relax, maybe for a gentle turn, a gentle nod. And then to come up, we're sliding the hands up towards the knees, pressing into the feet, just either uncurling or hinging as you prefer to come up to sitting. And we're just going to bring the feet towards each other, the knees towards each other, and take a cleansing breath. Breathing in, take the arms around the body and up, looking up, breathing out, draw the palms down to the center of the chest. One more time, breathing in, around the body and up, thighs moving towards each other, breathing out, palms down to the center of the chest. Very good. So this completes our practice for today. Apart from our relaxation, let us prepare for relaxation. If you feel like you need to wiggle or do anything, like stand up and give yourself a wiggle or give yourself a much more open of the chest, please feel free to do so. And otherwise, getting some warm layers on. Oh, there we are. Almost. Getting some warm layers on, and your blankets if you're using your blankets. And you might find that as you become to sit into the back of our seat, that's when the supporting muscles of our practice can begin to ease and we get a little sense of release. Let go of some of that tension, effort that we've made, and our body begins to soften. So, finding that support from behind you, finding your arms resting wherever is comfortable. Make a few movements with your head so that you can find the neutral spot that works best for you. And then we'll take a few deep breaths here, breathing deeply in. As you sigh out through your mouth, let your effort go. Breathing deeply in, and as you sigh out, begin to relax your muscles deeper. Breathing deeply in, and then surrender your weight back and down. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead, feel it soften. That space between the eyebrows spreading. The area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, and jaw releasing. Feel that sense of softening, softness, releasing, relaxation. Travel from the face all through the scalp, the top of the head, back of the head, the sides of the head. Allow that sense of letting go to travel into the neck, softening any last vestiges of tension, the throat releasing, the shoulders relaxing. Allow a sense of heaviness into the arms, the elbows, the wrists, hands and fingers. The head, neck, shoulders and arms, all heavy, all softening, all relaxing. Allow that sense of releasing through the chest and the upper back, the whole of the rib cage, the diaphragm, middle back, abdomen, and low back, the whole of the torso, softening, becoming heavier, becoming even more still, releasing, relaxing. Allow that sense of heaviness into the hips and the pelvis, the legs and knees, ankles, feet and toes. The hips, pelvis, legs, feet, all softening, all releasing, letting go, getting heavier, relaxing down. As your body relaxes deeper, draw your awareness to your breath and find a breath that matches your body. Slow, soft, relax. And allow your body, your breath and mind to relax a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your fingers, your toes, maybe moving the fingers and toes, maybe rolling the wrists and the ankles, getting a bit more movement into the extremities. When you feel ready, you can take a deep breath in and stretch the body, maybe. And then stretching the arms and legs, maybe stretching one side and then the other. Making any movements that feel good. When you feel ready, you can gather your hands together at the center of your chest. And know that as we move through our neck and shoulders, often the things that are causing us discomfort are feelings or emotions or expectations that we're holding on to across particularly the shoulders, the throat chakra, and sometimes the heart chakra. So whilst our physical movements are always really, really useful, it is also good to do a little bit of contemplation of what else might be causing the tension, what else might be causing the discomfort. Is there something we can let go of? Is there some conflict that we can resolve? Is there something that we want to say that we haven't been able to say? Can we find a different outlet for it? Do we write it? Do we take ourselves into the wilderness and shout it? Whatever it might be. And then when you're ready, you can gently draw your chin to your chest, give yourself a gentle smile. And when you're ready, raise your head, release your hands, open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining in this practice. For today, it's just been Helen and I here in person, but we hope that you've enjoyed it when you practice on the video as well. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.